let's try that out. So, alright, so yes, welcome to RPG Wednesday. So first off, we're of course going to start with our character creation. I mean, that's the first thing that we always like to start out with. Bam! Character creation corner! So on my character creation corner, I have two characters I'm going to be working on. A DHAMPIR in Pathfinder, and then I'm going to be working on a Ventrue in Vampire the Masquerade. So I'm hoping that you will enjoy the character creation for both of these. Everything's looking good on that end. Why don't we dive right into some more Pathfinder character? Alright, cool. So I will be switching back and forth between some things here, and hopefully it will work out pretty well. I was experimenting here a little bit with getting this to work right. So we're going to call this DHAMPIR Car. So of course the race is going to be a DHAMPIR. Well, DHAMPIR. DHAMPIR. Does that look good? Sure. Alignment. Now, if you've seen my DHAMPIR video, you know that DHAMPIRs are not as often good just because of the nature of vampirism and the way that they're raised. So I'm thinking this will be a, let's call it a chaotic neutral character. Not good, we're not bad. We made a male and a female last week. Anybody have some opinions on the type of character you guys want to see in a chat? If not, I think we might just do this one a male. We'll put up here, wizard. We're gonna be wizard. Alright, we're not gonna bother with age, any of this information here. Let's move on to our ability scores. Okay, so here's where I'm hoping the experiment that I've been planning works out well. Bam! Hey, there we go. So now, when I take a look at stuff on the PSFRD D20, before referencing it back on my character sheet, I'm going to try to switch back and forth there. So you can see what I'm referencing here. So again, this is the D20 PFSRD.com, which is a basic, what's an easy way of saying this? It's a anthology of a lot of Pathfinder-related material. So here we go. Here's our ability score cost. Now, last week we were using high fantasy. Let's stick with high fantasy for now. Alright, so I know a lot of these scores and how they work. So that just shows you that we're going to start with 10s in a lot of things. Let's switch back to our character sheet and actually work on it now. Alright, our bases. Okay, we are going to do a wizard. That was the plan. Now, why a wizard? Well, because as with the last two, we've been doing archetypes, that class archetypes that work with the races, at least for now, as long as they provide them. And wizard is an archetype. We have one for, of course, DHAMPIRs here. So we are going to technically be a necromancer. Not an evil necromancer, but, you know, necromancer / we'll add that in a minute. But we're going to want a high intelligence. The thing is, for wizard, the more intelligence, the better. And being a DHAMPIR, we don't get any kind of bonuses or subtractions from that. Let's quickly check our DHAMPIR sheet over here. Go down to our ability scores. Look at that. Dexterity, Charisma, Constitution. Okay, we're going to lose 2 Constitution. Alright, back to our character sheet. So, we were putting these under miscellaneous. So over here we have -2. Dexterity we have 2. Oh, that was not deleting. And Charisma we have 2. Alright. Now, as a wizard, do we want to have strength? We're going to lose Constitution, so I might want to put something into Constitution now. A 16 intelligence is pretty good to start out with. Let's do that. That's 10 of our points. That's a pretty big chunk of them, but that's not all of them. So we can still work here. A lot of these stats, they're going to be okay. Why don't we plan for a 14 here? Because extra hit points as a wizard are very helpful. Now granted, let's put us down to a 12, but that might be helpful. And we could look to, I don't want to necessarily go for the most quintessential wizard here and have like a really low strength, let's keep a 10 strength. Let's put an 8 in charisma. We're going to be slightly uncharismatic, balance out in the end. So give us an extra 2 points, which we used to do here. Well, you know what? Let's make our character wise. There we go. So we got a little bit of dexterity, which we get our bonus from our race. We switch that off with a little bit of constitution, which we spend extra points in. A pretty decent intelligence for a starting wizard. And some wisdom, just because we are smart and wise. Not a lot of charisma here. So, let me get the exact spelling here of this one. For the necromancer, it's going to be a Cruoromancer. That's a mouthful if I ever heard one. So we have our ability scores done and taken care of. Awesome. Alright, let's look at the rest of our things for DHAMPIR. Let's switch back to looking over here. Alright, let's see here. Humanoid, speed's 30, languages are common. We have all these special abilities here. Let's look at our alternate racial traits, choose what we want to take, and then work off of that one there. Let me move chat right now so I can see it a little better. And we're not doing no frames, and I'm recording at the same time. That was going to be my big experiment I'm doing with you guys, is recording this one at the same time as I'm streaming it and seeing if that works. Because the editing I had last week. Little note, the Aasimar character should be coming up tomorrow after a buttload of editing. Because there's a lot of problems with throwing the stream out that way. So hopefully recording these individual episodes will be a little fun. Anyway, why don't we look at our alternate traits. Dayborn. Now, Dayborns can be very useful. We don't get our spell-like ability, which is Detect Undead. Let me see it over here. Yeah, spell-like ability, Detect Undead. But do we need that? We might be able to take that as a spell as a wizard. So maybe Dayborn might not be a bad idea. Thanks. That also replaces our spell-like ability, as does Heir to Undying Nobility. Which, Charm, again, we could have that as a spell. The Fangs, we're not strong. The Vampire Hunter? Instead of being manipulative, we can hunt our own kin? I feel like we're probably very neutral about our own kin. Not really going totally about it, because we are a neutral character, but we are still connected with the dead and blood and stuff. Vampiric Empathy. Place is manipulative, and we can talk with animals. Bluff and Perception. We'd have a decent perception, but not a great bluff. You know what? I think Vampiric Empathy and Dayborn will be pretty cool. So let's go back to our character sheet and start entering these things in. Let me just switch that back for you guys. Let's go to abilities and start entering our racial abilities. These were under... I think I put these under special abilities. Yes, special abilities. So let's start with, of course, Dayborn. So we'll add one in. Again, as I said last week, I'm not going to enter all the information on these just because we won't need them. We will need them if we were actually playing in the game. We would want to copy and paste a lot of this information into the description of these, fill these out completely. We're just making our notes now for character creation because we aren't at this point playing with these characters. Who knows? Maybe these characters will be useful in the future. And then we also wanted Vampiric Empathy. If I can spell that right, I probably didn't. Knowing me, I probably did not spell it correctly. Alright. Are we losing anything here? Nope. Frame's looking good. Everything looking good on stream. If there ends up being a little bit of jankiness. Hey, Worm. Welcome. Welcome on. I hope you're enjoying me making a DHAMPIR. Half vampire, half human. Blah. And we're making a blood-based necromancer. A Cruoromancer. Okay. So, we still have negative energy affinity. We got rid of light sensitivity, so we have low light and dark vision. So we'll put, low light vision. And we'll put Oh, I want that to be a racial trait. Dark. Come on. That's something about this character sheet. It's not perfect. I'm hoping I can get this done pretty quickly, though, in comparison to last week's. Like the catfolk, I got done pretty quick, I noticed. The Aasimar, not so much, but again, I had not used this sheet before, so we also have negative energy affinity, which grants us that we don't take the penalties from negative levels. That's a really cool one. Oh no, that's that one is we act like undead when it comes to channeling energy. Let's see. Next is undead resistance, resist level drain. Resist level wow. Look at me type terribly today. Oh boy. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions on any of these characters as I'm working that you want to throw into chat, go ahead. And I can integrate some things in for fun. So we resist level energy. This is the one where we don't take penalties from energy drain. We still get it, but we don't take penalties. And finally, we have for racial undead resistance. Dead resistance. Oh. Undead resistance. Thank you for working for once. So we do have a whole bunch of abilities. We didn't take any skill bonuses. We got them all in here. Let's go back to our main sheet, core sheet. I think we can put our speed down here. Base speed of 30. Thank you very much. So our average speed of a person. Alright, so we got our major abilities here. Now, there are some things I am not going to be putting in here. AKA, first off, not doing traits. Not racial traits, but traits. I might start doing traits in a character a little later on, just to show off what it means to take traits. But not this week, so don't expect that. Favored class bonus. Let's take a look at that one. A fourth of the wizard's caster level when casting spells in the necromancy school. That might be a good one to consider because we are technically being a necromancer. Now there are variant DHAMPIR heritages where we can be like a Jang Sheborn, Moroi, Verlera, Nosferatu, other types of vampiric creatures. But, no, I'm not going to take any of those. I have an interesting selection of things now, and I think we can live with what we have. I am going to move into the position where we can look at the feats, though. On the other character sheet. See, down here at the bottom where all the racial feats are. Let's though talk about Wizard. Oh yeah. Let's go over here to Wizard. And let's look at the chart. We're first level wizards. We are doing another first level character this week. Again, I might take some of these characters and level them up in the future also as part of some streams if I want to. But I'm thinking because I keep doing the racial videos on Mondays, it's kind of cool to do these ones where I make a first level character of each of those races for now. Plenty of work to do. So look here. Base attack 0, fortitude, reflex, will. Fortitude 0, reflex 0, will 2. We get Arcane Bond, Arcane School, Cantrips, Scribe Scroll, 3 and 1 for spells per day. Alright. Now, we have a pretty good bonus, so we technically will have 2 spells per day over here. And we're going to have to look at Cruoromancer, too. Okay, at first level, he can infuse his necromancy skills in either of the following ways. This will replace our Arcane Bond. So we don't get Arcane Bond. Good to know. We're getting this Blood Infusion ability. So we're going to get Arcane School, Cantrips, Scribe Scroll. Well, we can put in Scribe Scroll pretty quickly. Let's do that right now. That's technically under feats. Because Scribe Scroll is indeed a feat. Let me switch back to our character sheet to show you that I'm doing that. Entering Scribe Scroll as a feat. Let's enter Arcane School. That's a class feature, we'll call that one. It is. And we're Necromancer. Arcane School Necromancer! Exclamation point. Bwahahahahahahahahaha. Fear our mighty and powerful Necromancer. Alright, what else do we get? The base attack of 0. That certainly does not help us. Let's take a look at entering the core sheet here. We don't have conditions. Let's see your level. 1. Hit dice is going to be a D6. Our class hit points right now, 6. I don't think we'll take favored class bonus hit points if we do take any kind of favored class bonus that isn't something. Wizard get, I believe, 2+ intelligence modifier. I'm going to have to pick that up on break. 2+ intelligence modifier for skills per level. So that will be 5. Favorite class skill. No, fort reflex will of 2. So our max hit points right now is 7. Okay, that's not bad. We have a little bit of 7. We're a bit tough. Into initiative of 2. Okay, cool. Let's check our defenses right now. Fortitude of 1, reflex of 2, will of 4. Nice. Look at that. We actually have pretty decent saves. AC's up right now, 12. Alright. We're not going to necessarily worry about attacks. We do have some decent ranged attacks. Our CMB sucks. Just saying. I think our CMD is pretty terrible, too. Our CMD is 12, also. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, we got our hit dice. We're not spending money or doing spells yet. Those are going to be things. We do want to do skills at some point in time. You know what? Why don't we look at our skills now? Let's switch back here where I'm at skills. We have appraise, craft, fly, knowledge, awe, linguistics, profession, and spellcraft int. I think I'm going to take for the favored class bonus that bonus to extra necromancy spells, the higher caster level. I think that's a pretty cool idea and it works pretty well. So let's enter into these. So as I said, it was appraise. So let's make a class skill. Then craft, fly, and all the knowledges. So we'll make the craft ones. We'll make the fly, which we can't take because we don't have flying yet. Let's try to enter all these knowledges because we technically have all the knowledges. Come on. That's the only thing. I wish there was like an all knowledge button. That'd be awesome. Linguistics, profession, and spellcraft. Linguistics, okay. Profession and spellcraft. Alright. Ranks. I think we do want to take 1 in spellcraft. That's going to be very important. We do have 5 points here. Fly. We can't take fly right now. Craft, no. Appraise. You know what? I think our character here is going to know a little bit about appraising. They're going to know a little bit to help out in figuring things out there. Linguistics. I don't think our character is going to really know linguistics. We're going to take a couple of bonus languages for high intelligence, which I think DHAMPIR, if I check it correctly, gets any language. So I can take all the languages that I feel are important based upon Wizard, because I can get 3 extra. So it's like Draconic, and then I know Common, and a couple more. So I get 3 of more knowledges. Now, Arcana is kind of a given for here. Since I'm being a Necromancer, I think Religion's going to be good. But we need 1 more knowledge that we can take. And the question will be, what will it be? Dungeoneering? I don't know. Will that really fit? Engineering? Geography? Nah. Maybe history. History might fit with the kind of character we're building. Someone that looks a little bit into the past and investigates things of that nature. Communicates with the dead almost, maybe, by raising them. Think about that as a character, that they raise the dead in order to communicate with them. They don't really tend to create things like skeletons and zombies. They aim to create more powerful undead. Local might be okay for knowing all the right haunts and stuff also. But I think I like the idea of a little bit of history. Adding to an interesting degree to this character. So we have our 5 skill points. Alright, cool. We took care of skills pretty well. Oh, dang it. I did that. Let's go back to core. It should be 2 here. Uh-huh. 2. Yep, that's correct now. Now we have the correct number of skills. Now, see, that's where it says it. Yes! Cool. Excellent. Alright. We took care of our skills. We took care of our hit points. We still have 70 gold. We still have a couple of spells to put. We still have a spell book to build. We are going to be building a spell book, too. Oof! So in our spell book, we're going to have all the level 0 spells plus 3 first level spells plus additional first level spells equal to a month. So we're going to have 6 first level spells. And we're going to just mark them in our spell book when we do spells. Okay, we have to do 2 settings here. I recall this. And we use spells. Awesome. There we go. Spells per day will be base spell per day is 2. Ability modifier is we're using intelligence and concentration. Caster level. Int. Yep, base spell bonus spells for int. Oh, our base is 1 actually. 4. And we'll just use these to note. We're not gonna note like all. We know 6. There we go. That's probably terrible. That's not exactly how it works. But making little notes like this, based upon the spells that we're going to do. So when we do spells, we're ready for it, basically, now. I can get rid of ability scores as a thing. Bonus is languages. Well, I already can get... I don't get an arcane bond. I can already do draconic. I chose a school, which, we get an additional slot to cast one of our special. So we will have a bonus one, which we're going to say is, 2. We'll just say 2. One of them is a necromancy spell, but there's not a really easy way of noting it here that we get 1 extra necromancy spell each day. We have to have 2 opposition schools. Jeez. What kind of opposition schools don't we want to have? Because there's abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, and transmutation. Huh. Evocation's good to keep, just in case, because attack spells. You really want to have those. I'm thinking maybe we get rid of illusion. I mean, that feels like a traditional one. And enchantment. Yeah. Let's go make notes of that we don't have illusion and enchantment. No illusion or enchantment. Womp womp. Neither of those. Okay, we got cantrips, we got scrap scroll. Cool. I think we literally have everything we need from wizard. Is literally the word I want to use? I don't think literally is the word I want to use. Sorry. We memorized 3 per day out of all of our cantrips. So, we got the school, we got the cantrips, we got the scribe scroll, blood infusion. I'm just going to list that. Okay, so let's look at blood infusion over on the Pathfinder page so you can see it. So we can read it together. When Cruoromancer casts a spell of the necromancy school, you can opt to infuse a spell with a undead tainted blood. As a swift action increases the level, the power of the effect usually becomes more potent. Each time the Cruoromancer uses blood, he drains a portion of his own blood, entering by cutting himself with the blade. So you take 1d4 damage plus the level of spell being infused. Okay, so you take some damage. Only affect a single type. Can only affect a spell with a single type of blood infusion. At first level, he can infuse his necromancy spells in the following ways. Adds +1 to DC if infused necromancy spells, or any creature damaged by infused necromancy spells becomes sickened for 1 round. That's not bad. It's an interesting one for taking damage. Later on, we get much more powerful abilities by replacing our bonus feats. Normally, as a wizard, we get bonus feats at 5, 10, and 15, and 20. And we replace the 5, 10, 15, and the 20 ones. So you get rid of the bonus feats in the Arcane Bond for this entire one. Pretty cool. Let's move on. How's the stream looking, everybody? Pretty good? Nice. Excellent. Very good. So let's drop... Oh, whoops. Dropped the wrong one. That's the one I want to drop. We want to go back to the character sheet. So we really only need to mention Blood Infusion now as a class ability. Let's add that in. Under our class features, Blood Infusion. Again, I don't necessarily need to write everything out because, well, we don't need it written all out. Alright, let's choose some spells. Now, again, I'm going to have 6 in my spell book. I'm not going to list which ones I'm memorizing of anything. I might list which ones I'm memorizing at level 0s. But let's... I'm going to zap us over to here for spell page for checking these out. Level 0 wizard spells. Now we have to remember we can't take enchantment, which would be daze, or illusion, which is ghost sound or haunting fey aspect. And this takes it from a lot of different sources here. Detect magic is going to be really good. So I think for our spells, for cantrips, detect magic. Awesome. That's the first one we're going to have. Because we can have all these memorized. Breeze, dancing light, flare. Light. We have dark vision and low light vision. I don't think we need light. I don't even know what type of team we're in. Disrupt undead might not be a bad one, just because of the nature of what we do. Touch of fatigue. We should probably take a necromancer spell, a necromancy, one of these. Bleed, no. I think maybe touch of fatigue we'll memorize. Touch of fatigue. Now let me go check. Did I close wizard? Of course I closed wizard. Well, bam. I wanted to check wizard to see if the bonus necromancy spells include cantrips, because I don't know that one off the top of my head. It's you have to be ready to check stuff if you don't remember stuff. And we were at Arcane School, and you decided to load something up and send me an update. First level up. Okay, cool. Good to know. Does not affect cantrips. So we got one more. I think we should choose a battle one. Brave Frost? Brave Frost. So we can have a damaging spell. So we don't rely on our... weapons. God, stop making that noise. I gotta check this computer because it keeps making this little noise occasionally. Alright, so we get 6 spells. Now, there are some spells that I'm going to pull out here that I'm going to say you're going to want. Period. And 2 important ones. Mage Armor. Shield. Magic Missile. These are our first 3. As I said, we're going to do 6. Mage Armor. I was doing another 1. Thank you very much. Now, why these 3? 2 of these are the most important defensive spells. And if you can cast them, I highly recommend them. If you would be able to cast both of them in the course of the battle, you increase your AC by 8. Why did you send... You send shield to here when it's a first level spell? Oh, okay, I see what I did there. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. This thing loads up so slowly. It's too terribly slow at loading up. There we go. First level spells. Thank you. I don't know what I was putting in over there. And magic missile. Because that's the first level attack spell of your choice. Now we get to choose 3 more. Let's head to necromancy first. Just to show you, I've been putting them in over here and not enjoying my time trying to put them in over there. That could be another attack spell. Okay, here's our necromancy spells. I want to at least take one of these and have it. Sculpt corpse, touch of blindness, touch your hand, engulf darkness, closing eyes, repair undead. Ooh, if I'm going to be a necromancer, I don't think I can create undead yet. Anyway, so repair undead might be one I will take later on. Ray of Enfeeblement is actually not a bad one. So I think I should take Ray of Enfeeblement here. So I'll put that over on Enfeeblement. I'll put that in over on our character sheet. Show it off there. There it is. I want to take one more, I think. Itching Curse, Phantom Blood. Interpret if con loss would knock your Grasping Course. Chill Touch. Ooh, Chill Touch might not be a bad one. And then we can take one more spell. But what? Liberating Command. Trust me, you're going to want to take it at some point in time. So Chill Touch and Liberating Command are our extra 2 first levels. Which, let me switch back to our character sheet to show you this. So what are we doing? Chill Touch. And which I think, don't we get a bonus first level spell for high intelligence? I'm gonna have to check that, but it's not saying that I am. You didn't enter in Chill Touch. Chill Touch. This program is weird. Oh my god, that went away. Again. Liberating. Come in. Whoa. How many times can it eliminate the same one that I'm trying to create? There we go. Oh. Oh, it's over here now. And it's over here now. Because they make them over here and I don't know why. Liberating. Man, whatever. The weirdness of this entire sheet sometimes. Ooh. 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 I might try to change the character sheet. I don't know. But there we go. Oh god, we got our spells. Thankfully, we have our spells. We haven't done something important, though. We haven't done feats. So you know what? Let's go look at feats, and let's go look at a equipment. So, now there's a whole lot of feats for a Blood Drinker feat. But there are 2 feats that I want to look at. Life Dominant Soul. Okay, we can heal a little bit from positive channels. Cool. And Natural Charmer. We don't have the charisma to do Natural Charmer. Natural Charmer would be awesome if we were a charisma-based character. But I might take Life Dominant Soul as an easier way to heal. Otherwise than this, I would take a meta magic feat just to get it out of the way. Or maybe like precise shot or point blank shot. So I can take precise shot and use range touch attacks into combat. But that's range touch attacks. Let's see here. Wizard. Now here's something we can do. We can type in wizard. Do the search here. And hopefully it'll load up and then we can show you stuff here. As for equipment, I'm probably not going to do equipment at all for my DHAMPIR here. Because a wizard gets 70 gold. And a wizard will not be using... Oh my god, sacred geometry. Oh, heck no. Heck no. Trust me. Heck no on sacred geometry. Just trust me on that one. Oh, spell focus. Select spell focus in school, which you have taken. Each treat cast level being too higher for level varies effects of the spell. I think spell focus necromancy actually might be a good one. As strange as that sounds, because we are being a necromancer, selected spell is not something we would take until much later. So let's move over here and spell focus necromancy. Because I sent it somewhere else. What? Doing weird stuff again. Oh. Spell focus. Cool. I'm just gonna pretend spell focus is in there. We're just gonna pretend spell focus is in there right now, and it is. It's awesome. Spell focus. Yay! Hurrah! So. That's it. That's what we have. And yes, I have 70 gold to spend, and I probably want to buy something like a quarterstaff or something like that. Which, let's take a look over at the Pathfinder for the equipment. We're not buying weapons. We're not doing goods and services with this character. I mean, armor. We will probably buy a couple of weapons. Like, we can do simple weapons, so... let me get rid of this page. I mean, it's like, what do we want to get? For this, a quarterstaff is probably the best. And then something like a crossbow with our 70. We get a light crossbow. Yeah. Light crossbow and a quarterstaff. Cost us 70 gold, 35 of our 70 gold pieces. We can spend the rest on equipment. And we'll just put in quarterstaff. Sure, that's spelled horribly. Light crossbow. Awesome. And they're weapons, technically, but we don't need to do that. And so we're reduced to 35 gold. If you had more patience, I'm sure this would work a lot better, but you can see my patience for this entire system a little bit. But we finished our Cruoromancer. So, I hope you got an idea of this character a little bit. So we are a neutral, chaotic neutral. So the entire thing is, we have had a dark life, and we grew up kind of in a way embracing the darkness within us. But you would think that that would mean embracing the undead nature and the twistedness of it. But no, it meant a mastery over death itself that we wished to learn about. Hence, we turned to necromancy. And in particular, we learned to manipulate our own blood when it came to necromancy. We are people that study the past to learn more about our own future, mastering knowledges of both religion to know more about undead and our arcane. Our knowledge of history helps us in the fact that we believe that perhaps one day we can use our own skills to raise the dead and be able to learn from them. And we aren't the kind that would raise it in a divine way and come back to life. No, we'd summon ghouls and other shades that might be able to share some information about their lives. And a good adventure. Maybe someone that could help out with a team. This character probably would be able to work in a team together with other people. Has some of the right skills, a decent amount of spells. So it looks like we've built a pretty decent necromancer. Chaotic neutral necromancer. Cool. Alright, we're done with our DHAMPIR for today. So let's change some things around. Let me move over here to turn this off and turn that off. We are going to continue with character creation corner, so let me just put up the top image for a couple of minutes as I switch some things around. And then we'll be ready to set up for working on the vampire character. Cool. Be right back with everybody. Just give me a minute.